All right, let me get See, I just tuned this thing in the car on the way over here. Never buy a guitar on eBay unless the pictures are very, very clear. All right, here we go. Here I am in San Francisco at the legendary Purple Onion. Okay, you guys get it, right? Very, very funny.
SF Gate is proud to bring you an interview with syndicated cartoonist Dan Piraro, creator of the strip Bizarro, which runs coast to coast 7 days a week and has done so for 20 years, but I can't do the math exactly. Dan, that's a lot of cartoons, though.
That is a lot of cartoons. It's like 23 years times 365. It's well over 100.
Well over 100.
This was sexy. This was sexy in 1976. That was the chicks dug that. And look at that. There I am with my dad. I call this photo Dad and the Tranny. Look at that shirt. Look at that shirt. That's sparkly. I had to wear band-aids over my nipples to keep that sparkly dress from chewing a hole in me. I mean, you know, you would think this was like I was on my way to a midnight showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is like Tuesday afternoon at 4 or something.
You're doing stand-up these days. When you come up with an idea, do you tend to put it in a pile, say, oh, it's very visual, and use it for a cartoon, or this would be great for the stage? How does the idea get vetted?
They actually kind of rarely cross. They're different. They're just very different kinds of humor. And when I think of jokes for the stage, I typically will sit down to think up ideas for stand-up comedy, live comedy. Or I sit down to think up ideas for cartoons. And it's very rare that something will work in both mediums, because they're just totally different. The timing's different, the visual aspect, everything about it's different. So, and I don't, you know, I don't consider, I'm a decent stand-up comic, but I don't really consider myself a stand-up comic. You know, I'm by no means.
Who does?
Yes, I am a guy who sits down all day and draws comics. And when properly compensated, I will occasionally stand up and try to do comedy. Got the cat to claw today, and while I was at it, I had Bill's tongue removed and sealed the kids inside a soundproof box. And this, of course, like some of you guys know, I'm an animal rights activist and a vegan, right? Like some of you guys probably don't know, some of you guys know this. Which is kind of redundant. If you're an animal rights activist, you have to be a vegan, all right? Because if you're eating animal products that abuses animals, it's like saying that, you know, I'm an activist for women's rights and minority equality for minorities, but I have a 13-year-old slave who's also my girlfriend.
Both shows, we've got 80 tickets, all 80 tickets, both shows, you do the math, it's 160, if I've run the numbers correctly.
Show off.
All the money's going to the Woodstock Farm Animal Sanctuary.
That is correct, yeah, it's a benefit show.
Who are these guys?
All right, Woodstock Farm Animal Sanctuary is it's a farm animal rescue group in upstate New York, right outside of Woodstock, New York, oddly enough. And they, short term, it's about rescuing animals and letting them live out their lives on the farm there in peace and solitude in a natural environment. And the other half is educating the public. People come for tours. They meet farm animals. In fact, this is how I became vegan. Was I actually went to a farm animal sanctuary. I met these animals and I thought, oh my God, these guys are every bit as sweet and affectionate and intelligent as any cat or dog or human toddler I ever met. Why am I subsidizing this kind of abuse and death? Because they taste good. You know, like taste. That's why. So I stopped. And that's part of what these sanctuaries do for people. That was interesting. That's part of
It's like a barnyard noise.
So that's a big part of what these sanctuaries do is they rescue animals, but they also educate the public about the kind of environmental damage that animal agriculture does, about the kind of cruelty that's inherent in all these products you buy, and you don't really even think about it. You don't give a second thought about the stuff you buy and what the repercussions are. So that's why I like to help the farm out. A big part of my job there is fundraising and publicizing what's going on there. But my wife and I also go there and help build barns, take care of animals, shovel poo. It's a great deal of poo shoveling that goes on at any animal sanctuary. Build fences, whatever it takes. Why be such a wise guy, Bizarro? Hands off. Why is the media, and you in particular, so anti-Christian? Yeah, I'm really leaving that parade. I don't know. Does freedom of the press mean freedom to attack one's sacred beliefs? Yes. Yes, it does. That is the point of freedom of speech.
You get a lot of hate mail for antagonizing the religious right, and
Thanks for mentioning that.
and the gun lobby. Do you get any hate mail from San Francisco? We seem to just love your stuff.
You know, I don't. I actually, on rare occasions, I sometimes will do a joke. I will do a cartoon that that talks about gay rights, and gay people are so used to being punched. That's invariably a small number will see the cartoon and go, oh, there we go again, and write me a letter and say, why are you picking on us? And I would say, no, 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 no. Look again, I'm not picking on you, I'm supporting you. And they go, oh yeah, now I see it. Thanks so much for writing back.
They assume they missed the hidden gay bash.
That's exactly. They expect it to be bashed, and that's the only kind of hate mail I've ever gotten from San Francisco that I know of. Because let's face it, San Francisco's a hip place. People get it here.
Well, you're in good hands. San Francisco, I'd like to think the vegans outweigh the gun owners, and we're happy to have you back.
They definitely do out here, yeah.
Well, cool. Dan, thanks very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, all right. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.